Um, yeah, it's that time again where we just talk about incredibly ridiculous champions. Yeah, Deathless Thanos is incredible. And you know, I found my look, man, let's get into it. Look, the other day, I made a video about Deathless She-Hulk. If you don't recall, I said there are times where you just use a champion and immediately know, yeah, this is incredible. This feels amazing. First thing I will say is, so we finished our Deathless run in the Necropolis. Amazing time. It was a long 6-hour stream. The reason why it was so long was because I used a lot of rank 1s. My Thanos was unawakened rank 2. Of course, we get the dupe from finishing Necropolis. So it was a longer run, but it was a fun, I didn't really have too many problems. It was just long fights. Amazing challenge. Amazingly designed challenge. Amazing design champs for the challenge from Kabam, bro. 100%. It was an amazing experience. I will say that first and foremost. Now, after we got the Thanos dupe, I immediately put 200 SIGs into him, and boy, boy, I'm gonna say this first and foremost: you want him awakened, and you want him as high SIG as possible. In order for you to fully feel the power, you want him as high SIG as possible. You don't need him awakened. You know what I'm saying? You don't need him awakened, but to really unlock Thanos, you want him awakened and as high SIG as possible. I'm letting you know that right now. We will get into it. But before we get into the dang video, like, subscribe, turn post notifications on. Yeah, man, only if you like this content, man. Let's get into the video, man. So, first of all, let's get into immunities. He's immune to cold snap, frostbite, and poison. W immunity, especially for battlegrounds, because you can't Kate Bishop him. You know what I'm saying? And he got nice little smooth poison immunity for little cheeky fights. He's gonna be great for the meta coming up. I'm gonna just say that right now. He's him. Defender, attacker, himothy. Secondly, the first time each fight Thanos loses multiple 25% of his max health, he gains a 40% protection passive for 2 seconds, pause during opponent special attacks, and unaffected by ability accuracy. This is dope. This is a nice little piece of utility if you're getting beat up with Thanos. The protection is like, all right, brother, you getting smacked in the face, get right. That's what the protection is. It's the get right protection. 100%, dog. All right, now let's get into the Necrotic Energy, man. This is really his whole kit. The Necrotic Energy. You want to be making sure you're managing the Necrotic Energy. Now, how do you get Necrotic Energy? You get Necrotic Energy when landing a hit as a defender. You gain 2 when the opponent strikes Thanos or his block. 100%. So that shows you just how he gets Necrotic Energy on offense and on defense. So Thanos starts the fight with an indefinite energize, increasing combat power rate by 15%, increased by 0.50 flat per Necrotic Energy, or by 1% flat as a defender. The potency of this buff can only be modified by Thanos. So this is important because the more Necrotic Energy you have, essentially the more power you're going to gain at a very rapid pace. And you'll see in these fights that he's gaining power at a crazy level. Like he's getting up there, real talk. He's getting up there in power, and it's like, whoa, I just got an SP1, I got an SP2, I just had an SP2, now I'm at an SP3. Oh my god. When the Energize is removed or prevented, it is restored after 8 seconds. This is dope because if it's removed for any reason, after 8 seconds it comes right back up and you're back to moving, you're back to rolling, you're back to crushing it with Thanos. Now this is the second important part of his freaking kit, man. It's the unstoppable Scion of Chaos. All right, for every 10 Necrotic Energy he would gain, Thanos would gain a counter punch charge for 24 seconds or 12 seconds as a defender. Now a counter punch charge, a charge is spent when blocking an attack to gain an unstoppable passive for 0.75 seconds, allowing an immediate counter attack. Does not trigger against heavy attacks. So you're gonna see a little counter at the top left that says 10. You basically want to just do 10 hits, then you'll see an unstoppable icon. You'll see the counter punch charge pop up right after. This basically means he's unstoppable, and you can start kicking some butt. So basically all you want to do, it's very simple. You just want to hold your block, let the defender hit you, and you can just start going to work. This is what gives him that true Thanos feel, that true unstoppable vibe. He has all the stones. He's ready to just clap cheeks now, man. So Thanos does not spin charges while he's unstoppable, executing the well-timed blocker or while blocking non-final hits of the special attack. Sheesh! So you're still building up while unstoppable, basically. This is what this means. This means that you can block hits while you have that counter punch up. You can just hit normally, still gain your necrotic energy, and still keeping the flow of his rotation up. Very smooth. It's very important that you know this. Now, additionally, with the unstoppable, gaining an unstoppable inflicts a panic debuff for 5 seconds. Now, what's a panic debuff? With the panic debuff, affected champions cannot evade or cause attacks to miss. Gives them another piece of utility. So you're dealing with a nasty evade or a nasty falter, miss a defender or whatever. You're good. Like, listen, you get the unstoppable up, you're good. You're good. It's just flowing. It's just going. He's unstoppable. He feels like Deathless Thanos, bro, when I'm using him. It's crazy. All right, so now interrupting the opponent's attack with a heavy or while unstoppable grants 5 necrotic energy and pauses personal furies and armor shatter for 8 seconds. Now this is very important because, and you'll see in a little bit when I explain his specials and get more in depth with his heavy attack, you essentially want to make sure that you are keeping the unstoppables up and also letting them hit into your block to keep the effects, the debuffs and buffs going for both you and also for both the opponent. Let me get into that. The Master of War, the heavy attack, this is the beauty of it, man. This is the bread and butter of his kit right here, man. Charging a heavy after landing a non-combo ending attack inflicts a stun passive for 7.5 seconds. This gives you the same feeling as a Silk or America Chavez. That gives you that kind of unstoppable feeling where you do a 3-hit combo, you heavy, and you can kind of do whatever you want. It gives you that freedom in the fight to kind of do whatever you want. With Silk, you can kind of combine combos together with Silk heavy. This gives you that same feel, so you can play it how you want to play it, and you can kind of manipulate AI how you want to manipulate it with this heavy charge. Each hit either pulverizes one armor up effect if any are active, or inflicts an instant corrosion if not, both dealing 1075 damage. Now look, man, what is a corrosion? Corrosion is direct, is physical damage while active, increases up to 100%, reduces the target's armor rating. Now what is pulverized? Pulverized basically means that he's going to remove armor up buffs just by a heavy, 100%. Just by a heavy, just by getting your combo going and cranking a heavy after a 4-hit combo, you will remove an armor up buff and essentially control the fight, because a lot of annoying defenders, their kit is based upon how many armor ups they have and their abilities activate when they have a certain amount of armor up. So just having that kind of utility where if you crank a heavy, remove armor up, it's just a W, man. It's just a W. It's just a beautiful design. So on the final hit, or while canceling this attack with a special one of SP2, consume 30 necrotic energy, inflict a non-stacking armor break debuff and armor shatter debuff for 16 seconds. So this is why that heavy attack is so smooth, man. It just flows into his kit so effortlessly, 100%, man. Now for the SP1, on activation, gain a fury buff, increasing attack rating by 1612.5 for 16 seconds, max stack of 8. The final first hit consumes 20 necrotic energy. Each subsequent hit has a 40% chance to grant an additional fury. If energy was consumed, the chance is 100% instead. After the final hit, gain a non-stacking Genesis passive for 10 seconds, allowing Thanos to passively regenerate 2% of all damage taken by the opponent. Look, man, look, bro, that's just a little cherry on top. The regeneration, you really don't need it because you're Thanos. But it's nice. Look, man, the regeneration is nice for sure. It keeps you going, keeps you flowing. But as soon as you start using them, you're gonna realize, all right, bro, I don't think I'm gonna die ever. I think I'm gonna survive forever. I have all the zones. I'm Deathless. I mean, his name is Deathless Thanos, man. Come on. All right, so for the special 2, some projectiles in this attack are nothing but a bad dream. The real ones ignore 80% of the opponent's block proficiency and armor rating. So this is where you see on his special 2, there's going to be a lit up projectile, 100%. So this is basically what they're explaining. They're explaining that one lit up projectile that usually you fight when you're fighting against him, you're trying to find that little light projectile in order to evade. This is basically the same thing essentially while he's on offense. So you'll notice sometimes you'll be like, oh, is my SP2 whiffing? No, it's just finally hitting that lit up projectile that's meant to do damage and that's meant to cause the effects on the opponent. Each hit inflicts a 2,687.5 corrosion debuff for 8 seconds, and it consumes 15 necrotic energy to apply 2 additional debuffs. For the SB3, this is where it gets kind of juicy. For you long form content players, you long form people, 100%. If you like long form, if you like Necropolis, if you like Crucible, if you just like long form, it's all in the SB3. The first time each fight this attack is used, Thanos draws one of the evolution stones to permanently increase his maximum necrotic energy by 20. Additionally, he gains 1 more energy when striking the opponent with medium attacks. Now look, this basically ups his necrotic bank. So instead of 30 or how many necrotic energy you have, you now can just super ramp up your bank in order to spend it how you want to spend it. Crazy, man. Now, that's not even the key thing. The key thing of his SB3 is an inflict an indefinite corrosion passive, dealing 537.5 physical damage per second, max stack of 10. So for long fights, you just crank SB3s and indefinite DOT, man. Indefinite. It's indefinite. 100%, man. For shorter fights, you kind of want to do it normally. You don't really necessarily need an SB3 for short fights, let's say battlegrounds, unless you just want to take it there. You know what I'm saying? But you don't need to. The strat is build up your Furies. First of all, get the corrosion going. Make sure that you're pausing the Furies with the corrosion while the opponent is hitting into your block. You can intercept it with just a regular hit. Crank it heavy, get the armor shatter up, get the armor break up. And then the way you pause all of that is if you keep that corrosion going. Next, after that, you want to get to an SB2 and crank that SB2 for some big boy damage, man. Big boy corrosion damage. GG's, man. Now, for longer fights, this is very interesting because you want to get your Furies up. You want to get the same rotation. You want to get your armor shatter up, but you essentially just want to crank SB3s because this corrosion, indefinite corrosion, is stackable max up to 10. So you're doing insane DOT damage over time without even really having to think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So let's get into the SIG ability, man. This is why it's so important. It's called Death Arrives All the Same. Personal effects expire up to 40.13% more slowly and gain up to 100% increased ability accuracy, scaling with Necrotic Energy. These bonuses have half potency at 0 energy. At the start of Thanos' fight, each quest as an attacker and each fight as a defender, he gains 30 necrotic energy. This does not grant counterpunch charges and cannot happen again until Thanos' teammates win a fight. And lastly, personal protection gains 1% flat potency per necrotic energy. Now look, man, this essentially just gets them really ramped up at the beginning of a fight. You know what I'm saying? This is important for BGs to have that necrotic energy in order to get the effects going and get the Furies going and get everything smoothly going without you having to kind of build up 10 hits to get the counterpunch, get the counter punches going and everything. So you want him at essentially SIG 200 just to guarantee that you just go beast mode. Now, do you need it? Nah, because I was able to still achieve the same thing with Thanos Unawakened when I was in Necropolis. I was able, but it just took a little bit longer to get him going. You know what I'm saying? It took a little bit longer to get the charges flowing, the necrotic energy flowing, the Furies flowing, the armor shatter flowing. So it wasn't as fluid as him awakened 100%. Having done content with him completely unawakened and now using him awakened, it's night and day. It's night and freaking day, man. So let's get into the relic I was using. All right, so the one that I found most useful was the Gamora relic. So the Gamora relic essentially ups the duration of fury that you have or whatever, so it won't fall off as quick. And then also it applies more potency to the Furies that you're gaining with Deathless Thanos. I found this relic super useful because it essentially just made his rotation really fluid. I wasn't losing the Furies as quick as I was when he was unawakened and didn't have this relic on him. So this relic is very useful because you want to keep the key thing is you want to keep his Furies up for as long as you possibly can to keep that damage going, to keep everything flowing. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much his freaking kit, bro. He's oh man, like, bro, whoever designed him deserves a humanitarian award. I ain't gonna lie. He deserves a dang humanitarian award for designing this champion. Is beautiful, perfectly designed, because he gives you that balance of skill and also, you know, it's very forgiving in the playstyle at the same time. So it's a perfectly designed champion, man. It's perfectly designed champion because you can play him how you want to play him. You can utilize certain pieces of his utility how you want to utilize it, and you can control the fight how you want to control it. I feel like Thanos when I'm using him. I feel like Thanos. Real talk, bro. So that's gonna do it for the video. Once again, I hope you guys liked the video. More content on the way, man. This is a deathless week. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna be a lot of deathless material coming out in the next couple days. So stay locked in, man. I'm out this thing. Deuces.